Hello, this is Michael and we are using Google Sketchup. Today we're going to make a skeletal octohedron. So instead of creating a solid shape, we're going to make something a little more streamlined. But first, I'm going to make this a component and delete the rest of this. I'm going to rotate this around using the Q key so that we only have to do it once. That way, you can always have an exact replica of whatever changes you make. Reflecting one of the components over an axis allows us to maintain symmetry. Just moving around, you can use the M key to move. So if I start here, I'm going to group this, and I'm going to flip it over the blue axis, which is up and down. And we have our octohedron made out of components. So I'm going to double click, double click, double click, double click, and now we have all of them. I'm going to use the offset tool. This is one way to do it. And you can say, I don't know, 0.1. That seems fine. Now, if we were to try to extrude it, we'd see we get some interesting shapes from that. We could extrude out. That'd always be interesting. But it wouldn't really make much sense to try to extrude in. You get things like that. But one thing we could do is we could scale it, say 0.9, make a line between it, find the center, we can make a rectangle and also find the center. Remember, each time you double click on the object, you're opening a group or component, and triple click to select this whole object and align it with that center. E to delete that. We can make lines connecting this, creating, hold on, sometimes it jumps to that, trying to make it aligned but not connecting the endpoints. You have to be careful of that. If we put that there, we now have effectively a skeletal octohedron. If you wanted, you could 3D print this with very little resource used as opposed to a solid octohedra. Now if we go inside here, we see that these lines are no longer needed. I think I'm only missing one of them. Press K, we can go in here, and now we see it's clear. So very easily we've created an object. Wanted, we could even color it. On blue, there you go. Notice how it only selected the ones that were originally white. If we go to monochrome, we can see that there's two different kinds of surfaces. Default, the white surface is the outside. This darker, like bluish, like grayish color is the inside. We don't want that outside because it won't 3D print properly. So while it is a solid object, it's not watertight because you can't have something inside be on the outside. So what we can do is we can select the outside part and say Orient Faces. This doesn't necessarily work if you don't have a closed volume, but it's pretty effective in something simple like this. So now we see only the outside surface is on the outside, which is what we want. Go back to Shaded with Textures, and we see that what we shaded blue is all on the outside. If we go in here, it remains the same, different color. We could color this red, and outside here, it will still remain blue. Now if we wanted, we can also, say, make a copy and use the explode here, which basically deletes the component and makes it just its own shape. So if you keep doing that, you end up with one solid object. Now if you wanted to edit this, it'd be kind of hard because you'd have to do every single one. So why normally you keep it as that. Normally you leave it to the very end when you're completely finished so you can then 3D print it. That's it. Feel free to comment, subscribe, or check out some of my other videos. And as always, thanks for watching.